We have an essential topic planned for you today in terms of protecting your property. Now, it doesn't matter if you're new or seasonal operator, trust me, these are the things you must have. You might be in the business long enough, but you might not be protecting. There's more and more people having parties in their properties. They're having properties being affected, actually not by doing the right things. It's not guests' fault, but there's things that you should be doing as a host, as a business, that's going to allow you to save your business, protect your property. And in today's video, there's about 3 to 5 different things that I'm going to go through. More importantly, the details that it will allow you to kind of protect your business, but also help you grow your business, because once you're secured, you understand that, you will allow you to scale your business a lot better. So guys, welcome back to another Grow Airbnb video. So without further ado, let's go through some safety and security. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the exterior measures that you want to take. I think nowadays, look, the investment of your property is worth, or you or your landlord's property, if you're controlling, is anywhere between, it could be £100,000 to £1 million. There's no harm putting a little door camera outside the property, which will allow you to constantly measure the amount of guests that's going into property, especially if you are doing short stays, if you're doing 2-3 night stays, if you are in a place where your apartments or houses are getting a lot of in and out of customers, you need that. Secondly, I think you've probably seen horror stories online where, because you've got a key box outside, there's people just breaking into the key box. They're easy to broken into, and they can get into properties, and we've had people walked into our client's property, taking all the TVs, any valuable stuff, and that is when you need an alert. You don't want gaps or often days where you haven't done anything about it, and all of a sudden, because of not having a good measure, you end up having problems, and actually problems that's actually costing you money long term and short term. So let's think about, if you're running an Airbnb business and a short-term renter business right now in 2023, you must have a door ring camera, and that is most important. Now, interior safety precautions, 2 things you want to really understand. Firstly, nowadays, again, from a smart lock perspective, yes, it's all good we're putting that master lock keys, but you really want to generate new code per customer when they go in, because then that your key box hasn't, if you haven't changed the key box numbers or your housekeeping team hasn't done it, you can easily do that through your phone. So that's 100% number one thing. The second thing is, look, you've got to think about fire precaution. The more it's happening, the more people need to understand that sometimes guests, especially for shorter stays, they don't treat your property as theirs. So you need to make sure that you have clear processes on where the smoke detectors is, and even have a full place of fire extinguisher, making sure you're telling the actual guest in a actual welcome pack to say this is where it is. So again, 2 things which is very, very important right now, which you think in hindsight, by doing this, could actually save the property and save your landlord's property as well as yours. To build on to this, you really want to make sure that you've got out of hours emergency contacts. Now, there's a lot of company who actually offer you those kind of services. Firstly, you can go into that. Secondly, please make sure you have all the contacts of the local authority, your number, your emergency number, everything again in a welcome pack. Guys, I know operationally, I speak to a lot of clients again and again, and I ask them, look, do you have this in place? And they're like, Piers, do we need it? Well, you don't need it now, but then again, if in the case of if it happens, guest needs to have all the guide, because remember, it's not like a hotel when someone's there and trying to guide them through. It's they've got to take action, and if you've got something ready to go, that's what's going to allow them to really move forward. And again, as a host, you're taking a lot of precaution. You should be able to write that in your description on Airbnb, saying we have a guide for this, we have a guide for that. Eventually, when someone books it, they want to feel easy, but they also want to feel trusted to book that property. Clear house rules. Very, again, quite a simple thing, but 90% of operators right now, I know this because I speak to a lot of operators and work with them every day, do not have a clear house rules. More importantly, they don't have a clear house rules mentioned on their listing. So all of a sudden, that takes a lot away from choosing the right guest who's going to want to stay with you because they really love your property versus someone who's not going to look after your property. And again, sadly, we need to make sure these guests are verified fully. They're, one of the things we do on Grow Airbnb is we allow customers to have our 16-step processes, which not only allow them to know exactly who the guests are, but allows them to do all the due diligence prior for them to arrive. So my clients can be safe. Doesn't matter if it's Airbnb, Booking.com, direct bookings. They know that they've done all the due diligence, and without that, the guest will not be verified and is not going to get into the property. And lastly, the neighborhood safety tips, because at the end of the day, look, people come into the area to stay on an Airbnb to feel like a local. Now, if they don't know where the pharmacy is, the local, supermarket, all of these little things that you need in a day-to-day life, and especially what we do in Grow Airbnb is we allow our guests to think about a longer-term guest behavior. We need to tell them where the supermarket, if they're going to stay there for a month, they need to know where to go and buy food. All of this experience is going to make not only your client experience better, but also in return, you're going to allow that yourself to say, actually, we've provided them with everything they need for someone to stay in your property. Think about, I've always thought about me being in that position. If I'm going somewhere, what do I expect from the host? And that's exactly what you need to do for your business. Well, that's a wrap for today's video. And hopefully today you can think by us creating this operational work in the business, it is operational. It's not really going to help you get booking straight away, but what it will allow you to do is actually get good customer experience, which then as a result of that, you're going to end up making sure that customers are going to get you better and give you better review. Doesn't matter it's an Airbnb or Booking.com or direct. So guys, I hope you enjoyed another Grow Airbnb video. We are in a journey right now to nearly hit 3,000 properties we've ever worked in Airbnb and short-term rental market around the world. We're working in Dubai right now with clients in the UK. We've worked in Spain, Australia, US, and we are really looking forward to helping people all over the world to grow their business, to protect their Airbnb business, and eventually to make more profit.